John Deere G-Series dozers are productive to get the work done. They're built tough so you can rely on them day after day. These world-class units are manufactured in a certified ISO 9001 factory. You can't get any better than that. The G-Series are comfortable to keep you productive during those long days. They're very easy to service. And with a choice between torque converter and direct drive transmissions, they are very easy to run. Plus, these units are built with your safety in mind. John Deere really cares about operator safety and the safety of others working around the machine. In the next few minutes, we'll see how this concern for safety is incorporated into the everyday maintenance and operation of the John Deere G-Series dozers. The information we're about to review and much more is contained in the operator's manual. Located behind the seat, the manual should always be kept there for ready reference when periodic maintenance, safety, and operational questions arise. In addition, a special safety manual will accompany the operator's manual. It's your responsibility as the operator to read and become familiar with both before operating the machine. This video is divided into 3 sections. The first section shows the pre-start walk-around and daily service on the G-Series dozer. The second section looks at the operator's station with its controls and safety systems. And the third section examines some safety tips when operating the machine. These sections may be watched individually or all together. Each section is identified by a numbered symbol in the lower right corner of the screen, corresponding to those shown here for each section. This will help you search through the tape to find the specific section you want to view. Daily service begins at the right rear side of the machine. Although we're using a 650G, the checks and service locations are the same or nearly the same for all G-Series units. A periodic maintenance chart here provides a breakdown of service requirements at specified intervals. It includes a diagram showing the service checkpoints on the machine. This information is also found in the operator's manual. On later units, including Series 4, the hour meter is located in this area. Daily maintenance here includes the transmission oil level check. If checking after the machine is warmed up, loosen the dipstick slowly to allow pressure to escape. If necessary, transmission oil is added through this tube. Also in this area, you have access to the hydraulic and transmission spin-on oil filters, start aid canister, and dozer control valve. The hydraulic oil can be easily checked through a sight glass at the right rear of the unit. When doing your daily checks, inspect the ROPS and its fasteners. Look over the unit for mechanical damage, loose or missing hardware, excessive wear, or anything that might cause a failure at a critical moment. Check the tracks for broken or damaged pins, bushings, and other track parts. Also notice the looseness or tightness of track sag. This should be checked daily, and in certain conditions it may need checking more often than that. Changing soil conditions can cause packing in the undercarriage components and cause the track to tighten. Undercarriage wear is accelerated when the track chain is too tight. When track adjustment is needed, open the track adjuster cover. To increase track sag, loosen the valve and allow the grease to escape. Be careful not to let the grease escape too fast. To tighten the track, apply grease to the special fitting with a grease gun. After adjustment, operate the machine briefly and check the sag again to verify that the adjustment is correct. As you walk around the front of the machine, check the trash in the grill area that could cause overheating. Also look for hydraulic leaks, frayed hoses, damaged tubes, missing clamps, or rubbing hoses. A special warning about searching for leaks. Escaping fluid under pressure can penetrate the skin, causing serious injury. Search for leaks with a piece of cardboard. If an accident occurs, see a doctor immediately. Don't wait. Before operation, check and lubricate all dozer and cylinder pivot joints. Refer to the operator's manual or periodic maintenance chart for lubrication locations and intervals. Extended engine service requirements such as the oil filter or fuel filter are accessed through the right engine side shield. The starter is also accessed here. The starter connections are shielded to discourage dangerous bypass starting. The shielding prevents shorting across the starter terminals. Bypass starting bypasses the safety protection in the starter circuit, allowing the tractor to move if the transmission was left in gear. This warning decal provides an additional reminder advising against this dangerous practice. Be sure to use the steps and handholds when climbing on or off the unit. More people are injured by falls in this way than any other single cause. It's important that you face the unit and maintain at least a 3-point contact, 2 hands and a foot, or 2 feet and a hand. Daily engine maintenance access is through a door in the engine hood. In this area, the engine oil level check can be performed. If necessary, oil can be added through this tube. The engine coolant level can also be checked here. A coolant recovery tank provides easy access to the coolant level. If you do check the radiator level, be sure the engine is cool before removing the radiator cap. It should be loosened slowly to the stop to release all of the pressure before removal. The condition of the upper radiator hose and fan belts are monitored in this location. You can also see the guard around the fan. And when required, the air cleaner element can be removed through the opening. An air pre-cleaner is positioned on top of the hood so dust and other debris can be easily observed. This must be emptied when it reaches the mark on the bowl. The fuel filler is conveniently located at the left rear corner of the machine. Refueling is quick and simple. Removing 2 bolts will give you access to the batteries that are located under the operator's seat. Be sure to reinstall the bolts when finished. When charging or removing the batteries, disconnect the ground or negative cables first. This helps prevent damage to the electrical components and lessens the potential for sparks that could ignite battery gases. G-Series dozers have excellent visibility. With units equipped with a cab, be sure to take a moment to clean the glass so you can see better where you're going and who's around you. Also, a clean operator station goes a long way in promoting safe operation. This includes keeping things clear of the pedals and levers. This concludes the pre-start inspection and daily service of the machine. For your convenience, a pre-start inspection checklist is printed in your operator's manual. As mentioned earlier, it's important to maintain a 3-point contact while climbing on or off the unit. For comfort during a long day's work, the seat is easily adjusted. The weight adjustment on the suspension seat is simple to do and provides for a smooth ride. The height automatically adjusts to your weight. The seat back angle can be adjusted to provide additional comfort. fore and aft movement allow for proper leg positioning. The armrest can be adjusted to satisfy your need for support while working the transmission and dozer controls. A seatbelt comfortably and securely holds you in the seat. In the event of an overturn, that's where you want to stay. For these reasons, the seatbelt should be kept in proper working order. Be aware of its condition and replace when necessary, at least every 3 years, regardless of appearance. Before operating any machine, you need to become familiar with the operating controls and instrumentation. On the forward console are the key switch, start aid, and light switch. The machine may be equipped with either a full complement of gauges like this one, or a dual-stage monitor system. Either way, a fuel gauge is located on the console. On earlier G-Series machines, the hour meter is in this position. The monitor panel has a number of system indicator lights, a yellow caution light, and a red stop light with audible alarm. During operation, if the yellow caution light comes on, a problem is developing in one of the systems that is also illuminated. It is not necessary to stop the engine, but the cause should be investigated as soon as possible. If the red stop engine indicator flashes and the alarm sounds, stop the engine immediately and investigate the cause. To the operator's left are the engine and transmission controls. The small lever to the far left is the engine speed control. Moving the lever toward the rabbit symbol increases the speed. Toward the turtle symbol decreases the speed. The park and brake lock lever is located on the front of the side console. This lever must be down to start the engine. It must be moved upward before the machine can move. In the up position, the park brakes are released, as you can see by the movement of the steering pedals, and the transmission control lever is released from the park position. The park brake automatically engages when the engine stops, even though the lock lever may be up and the machine is in gear. The transmission control lever controls the direction and the 4 speeds of the machine. The transmission can be shifted on the go, not only between speed ranges, but between forward and reverse. Also on the left console is the horn button. Floor pedals vary depending on the unit's steering and transmission type. The far right pedal found on all units is the decelerator. Pushing the pedal down decreases the engine speed. Releasing the pedal increases engine speed. A small pedal to the operator's left side is found on direct drive transmission machines only. This is the power control pedal. The pedal acts as a clutch pedal and allows the operator to have precise control when desired. As the pedal is pushed down, the machine slows while keeping the engine speed constant. Releasing the pedal returns the machine to its original speed. Machines may be equipped with pedal steering controls or lever steering controls. With lever steer, pulling the lever back will interrupt power to the track on that side, so the track slows. Pulling the lever back farther will apply the brakes. With one track stop, the unit will make a pivot turn. If the operator pulls on both steering levers, power is interrupted to both tracks. Again, pulling the lever farther back will apply the brakes. In the lower gears, the brakes may not stop the unit without placing the transmission in neutral. On lever steer machines, there is one large brake pedal. As the operator pushes the brake pedal, the brakes are applied and the machine slows or stops. Pedal steer machines have two larger pedals at the operator's feet. Pushing on the pedal will slow the track on that side. Pushing the pedal down farther will apply the brakes. If both steering pedals are pushed at the same time, the machine will slow and continue straight. Pushing the pedals farther will apply the brakes. On torque converter units, the machine will stop. But on direct drive units, the transmission must also be declutched to stop the machine. An option is available whereby pushing down completely on the decelerator will declutch the direct drive transmission. The dozer control is located on the right console. Most units are equipped with a T-bar control. Forward and backward movement raises and lowers the blade. Pushing forward into the detented float position allows the blade to follow the contour of the ground. Right and left movement controls blade tilt. Twisting the T-bar angles the blade. The operator has the ability for multiple dozer functions for added productivity. Some units are equipped with two lever controls. Consult the operator's manual for lever control movements. To the right of the dozer control are the optional auxiliary controls for other attachments. One other point, your dozer comes equipped with a mirror to help you keep track of who and what are around you. This brings us to the end of the Controls and Safety Systems section. Be sure to review and understand the operator's manual to become more familiar with the machine controls and features before operating. As we've seen in the previous sections of this video, the design of the John Deere G-Series dozers reflects a lot of consideration for safety. But does this automatically ensure safety on the job site? There are many pieces of safety equipment on the dozer, but there is no assurance that the safety equipment will get the job done unless you use it. As we've seen, one of the most important pieces of safety equipment is your seatbelt. Buckle up before you start work. The rollover protective structure by itself doesn't assure your safety in the event of an overturn. If you're not wearing your seatbelt, you could be thrown and crushed, possibly by the ROPS itself. Don't operate under the mistaken impression that if a machine overturns, you can hold on or jump free. That impression may be fatal. Before starting out, make a quick check of the operational controls. It's better to take a moment now than to find out at a critical moment when it's too late to avoid an accident. Before you begin work, be sure you call the utility services in the area to have the job site marked for underground lines or structures. In most areas, there is a free or low-cost one-call locator service. It's better to take a little time before the project begins to know what you may encounter. If you doze or rip through a gas pipeline or an electrical line, you could be losing more than a little time. As was mentioned, it's up to you to use your safety equipment. And it's also up to you to use good safety judgment. As the operator, you have the primary responsibility for the actions of the dozer. Always think about what you have to do before you do it. Never stop thinking about what's the safe thing to do, not only for yourself, but for the people around you. This brings up another important point. There's only one seat and seat belt in the dozer, and that's for you, the operator. These machines are not designed for riders. And when working in close areas, reduce your speed. You never know what might pop out in front of you. or in back of you. Even though the backup alarm is sounding, you still need to look behind you before and while backing up. Bystanders may ignore the alarm, especially in busy, noisy areas. You should also reduce your speed when in rough terrain to help you maintain control of the unit. Cross over obstructions at an angle. Ease up to the breakover point, balance slowly on the obstruction, and ease down to minimize the impact. On gradual slopes, work parallel to the slope. The dirt will fall to the lower side of the slope in a windrow. This will help hold the crawler from sliding down. On steeper slopes, work diagonally, starting from the base of the slope, working upwards. When not dozing, always travel at slow speeds, with the blade as low as possible. It's important to be careful when working close to a trench to avoid a possible cave-in and accidental machine overturn. For trenches with deep vertical sidewalls, backfilling perpendicular to the ditch is preferable. When moving large objects like a boulder, be extra careful. The boulder may move unexpectedly. Try to keep it in the center portion of the blade for best control. When shutting down the unit, there are a few simple procedures that you should follow. The machine should be parked on a level surface. Move the gear shift lever to neutral and engage the park and brake lock levers. Lower the dozer blade and any other attachments to the ground. Operate the engine at half speed without load for a couple minutes. This will help cool down the turbocharger. Slow the engine to low idle before stopping the engine. Moving the hydraulic control levers will release the pressure so you know for sure that the attachments are not moving. If you're shutting down for the day, it's a good idea to install the vandal protection and lock up the machine. You never know who might drop by. This should also include locking up the battery shutoff switch located to the right of the seat. If you plan to haul the unit, you should use extreme caution when loading it on or off a trailer. Statistics show that this is the most likely time for a tipping accident. Be sure the trailer is sitting on a firm, flat surface. The bed should be clean of debris. Use chalk blocks against the trailer wheels to help prevent the trailer from moving. You should always fasten your seatbelt before loading or unloading in case of overturn. It's recommended that you have a spotter to help you line up the dozer. Whenever possible, back the machine onto the trailer to prevent possible tipping. Do not load or unload over the side of the trailer. Use ramps. To keep yourself straight and on target, some operators line up on a board or other object on the trailer. The center line of the machine should be on the center line of the trailer. The unit should also be balanced fore and aft on the trailer. Once on the trailer, lower the blade and other attachments. Move the park and brake lock lever to the lock position. After cool down, shut off the engine and release the hydraulic pressure on the dozer and other attachments. As before, lock up the unit against vandalism. Cover the exhaust opening to prevent entry of wind and water. Fasten each corner of the machine to the trailer with a chain or cable with appropriate load binder. Before you haul the machine, be sure of its overhead height to the ground. It's better to know your limitations beforehand rather than learning the hard way after you hit something. Drive carefully, especially while turning. A quick turn could result in an overturned trailer. As you've seen, the John Deere G-Series dozers are equipped with many safety features and systems, but it's up to you, the operator, to use them. You have to think about every move you make before you make it. Doesn't matter how much experience you have, it only takes one mistake to make the difference in your life or in the lives of others. Statistics show that of all the accidents reported, over 90% of the operators hurt or killed were listed as experienced. Accidents don't always happen to the other guy. That other guy could be you.